So now we are joined by Zachary Powell from Vonage. Can you give us a little bit of your background?
Yeah, sure. So I'm the senior Android developer advocate at Vonage. So I work on the developer relations team, and basically half of my time is spent coding, and the other half of my time is spent doing stuff like coming to DroidCon, doing content, and all those sorts of fun stuff as well.
Amazing. Cool. So Vonage has a booth here.
Yes.
How has that been?
Yeah, so I think it's gone very well. We're kind of here to promote our communication APIs and get developers interested in using those things, that platform. And we've had a lot of interest in the booth. We had some of the Android figurines that we were giving away.
Nice.
If you completed the Hotwire game, you had to move the wire around. If you could complete that in a minute, you got an Android figurine.
Wow, do you still have those?
We don't, actually. Everyone did very well, not everyone, but a lot of people did very well, and those went quite quickly.
I did poorly.
Don't worry, I
tried.
can't. I haven't even been able to complete it, so it seems like you can either do it or you can't.
That is true. And actually, I'm just gonna ask you another question based on that. How has it been like attending DroidCon this year?
Yeah, I think it's been really nice. I didn't do DroidCon Berlin last year, but I did do London. And I think it's nice to see, it feels like the community's back at its full force. It feels like everyone's here, they want to learn about new things, they want to kind of see what's going on. And there's a really great kind of atmosphere and kind of very friendly as well.
Fantastic.
Nice. What's always fun about conferences? What do you look forward to?
For me, it's meeting the people. It's meeting the people that you talk to online a lot. It's people that you know on Twitter. You might do Twitter Spaces with them, but you never actually get to meet them in person until you come to these sorts of events. And it's really nice to be able to do that.
Amazing.
And see people that you'd never see anywhere else.
That's awesome. Ooh. Yeah, it's been great putting faces to names and profile pictures, and we've even referred to some people by their Twitter handles instead of their names. So. Yeah, I think just actually getting to know people, on that next level has been great.
I think that's one thing I've realized is there's quite a few people that I did not realize what they looked like, did not realize who they were, but knew them from Twitter. So it's nice to make that connection. Definitely.
Yeah, and then some people look exactly like their profile picture.
That's very true as well, yeah.
There's both sides of it, but it's cool. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So having the booth here, you've been getting a lot of interest in the guys. Are you here to mostly promote the product, or are you hiring as well?
Yeah, so we are mainly here to promote the product. We have an Android SDK, and I manage the Android SDK, so I think it's very good. But we really want people to start using that and looking at how they can use communication APIs to enhance their application.
Great.
Within the developer relations team, we have got some open positions, but they're not Android specific. And within the engineering, all our Android positions are filled. So we've got job openings, and if people ask, we're happy to talk about it, but that isn't our main goal here.
Got it.
Wow. And you did give talks, right? Do you want to tell us about them?
Yeah. So I did a sort of full-length talk yesterday, which was all about communication APIs, how you can use them to kind of enhance your user experiences, and also a little bit of a rant about how notifications suck and how we get too many notifications, and that isn't necessarily the right way to connect with your users. So that was a lot of fun. It was nice to be able to kind of talk about our product, but maybe in a way that was a bit more interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Definitely.
And any other talks that you thought were pretty interesting to you?
Yeah, so I did a community talk today talking about Linux on Android, which was a project I started over 10 years ago, which makes me feel very old. But basically, it's a project that I kind of left for maybe 6 years, and very recently have started coming back to try and reignite it.
Yeah.
And so the talk was about the lessons I've learned, the mistakes I made back then. There was we looked at some terrible code, laughed at kind of the 10 years ago me and the mistake and that sort of thing. So
what a journey to observe though. So were you going to conferences in being a part of the Android ecosystem way back then?
So
can you talk about how they may have changed since?
Definitely. I mean, back then, Android conferences were quite few and far between, specifically Android. My first talk I actually gave was at FOSDEM, which is a free and open source developer conference. And that was about Linux and Android 10 years ago.
Wow.
But then my second talk was at XDACon in Manchester. So there were these few kind of small Android events, and then obviously there was still DroidCon. But and it's just grown since. Like, it's become such a massive thing, and it's really great to see that recovering sort of after COVID and stuff. So I'm really happy to see it still.
It's fantastic. So go ahead, Madonna.
Yes, I was wondering, did you attend any other talks from any other, and which one exactly did you like?
Yeah, unfortunately, there was some that I really wanted to see. There was some talks about Kotlin multi-platform that I really wanted to get to see, but because I was on the booth and doing it, and we were quite busy, I haven't been able to do that. But I'm very looking forward to looking at all the recordings and absorbing a lot of that information. I mean, I think when you've got a multi-track event anyway, it's great that it's recorded because you can see everything that you missed.
Yeah.
And I definitely look forward to spending some time doing that.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole other, like the hallway track that people attend, just meeting people, interacting, and being a part of the booth helps because people come to you, but other than that, like being available to go up to others and see and meet people, like we were saying, is really the heartblood of everything we do here.
I think that's what really makes a in-person event so powerful compared to a virtual event.
That is true.
Being able to actually just talk to people and meet new people and have new experiences, I think it's great.
It's fantastic.
If you had 3 words about DroidCon, what would they be?
Oh, that's a good question. I think exciting, informative, and I'd say unique. I think this is really, you can really feel the community here compared to maybe other conferences that are a little less community focused. You can really feel that here, and I really like that. It's great.
What do you think sets the Android community apart from other developer communities?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's really great about the Android community is we have this very common interest, this very common want for the mobile platform to work well, and we want to build new things for it, and we want to get involved in it. I think other communities, there tends to be sort of fractures between frameworks and like all these sorts of things. And I think that's something Android is able to avoid and welcome everything. And I really like that.
Good answer. I love that answer. That's true.
Yeah. Cool.
No more questions from you?
We're all good.
No.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's great. Thank you.
Wonderful.